Welcome back to the Sooner Storm podcast. A lot to unpack. We're going to be going over availability, recent quarterback changes, and the potential storm that's moving into Auburn. So, we got the player availability schedule, or not schedule, but the depth chart to kind of see where everybody lies. A lot of people out, questionable, probable. It's not looking too favorable for us right now.
No, so I got the list up right here. Of course, we knew that Jaden Gibson's out.
Yeah.
Jalil Farouk still out. Nick Anderson is out, so not even doubtful or questionable. So don't really know what happened to him. But Gentry Williams is out. Obviously, Kendall Dolby's out. Garen Hatchett also out for the year. Tyler
Yeah.
Taylor. I don't know what happened with Tyler
I heard
Kelly.
it's his I heard he had his appendix taken out.
Yeah, so I did see that it was not a football related injury. But then we got Andrew Anthony. He's doubtful, which means probably not going to play at all because he was
Yeah.
questionable last week. Taylor Tatum, doubtful. I think that's a concussion. I don't know because
Yeah.
put
So
that
I
right here.
mean, they'll probably check him on Friday, see if he's good. We might get to see him. I doubt it. If he's anywhere remotely close to still having symptoms, I mean, we got a bye week next week. He'll be 100% moving into Texas. I think most of the guys in the backfield, Barnes did a really good job last week, but we're gonna have to be able to rotate guys in and out because I mean, he's gonna be gassed if he plays that whole game.
Yeah,
So
I'd really like to see. We've kind of seen Sawchuk a little bit, and he just hasn't really
I
done
haven't
anything. So where's Hicks been? Like, let's try him out a little bit. Also, I don't
haven't
know.
seen Hicks at all.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. We got to see him week one. He looked good.
yeah. Other than that, we have Dasan McCullough. He's questionable. Deion Burks is questionable also. And then Jake Taylor is probable. I think at least Deion Burks and Jake Taylor is going to play out of all of those. I don't think that Deion Burks was too big of an injury. Hopefully, we can jump out, big on Auburn, uh, especially with, a little bit different look on offense this week. So
Yeah, how
maybe,
about adding Jacoby Johnson?
yeah, maybe Burks won't have to play so much. But yeah, Jacoby Johnson, that's a big move for Brent Venables, moving him over from defense. I went back and looked at watched his highlights from high school, and the dude's a crazy receiver. I mean, like crazy good. He's a receiver that's going to jump up and go get that 50-50 ball uh, and then just complete the run after the catch. Looked really good.
And
Of course, that was in high school. We'll see how it transfers over to
well,
SEC college play. But I think he's got the stuff. If maybe not this week, but I definitely by that Texas week, I think he's going to have everything down. So
well, we're kind of in the position where we have to we have to start picking from the bag, man. We got a lot of young guys. I mean, Jacoby Johnson's still young as well, but to add depth to the wide receiver room, we got to have a couple of guys. I mean, adding him to the rotations, it's not gonna hurt. Like it's not gonna make things worse. So I think it's good. I think it gives us a little bit of something different. But I mean, it's gonna be an interesting week. A lot of changes, especially at the quarterback position.
Mhm.
Um, so just want to get you guys' feedback on that. I mean, personally, I'm excited to see Hawkins play a full game. I know Auburn does have they have a decent defense. So it's gonna be a challenge going on the road, freshman quarterback, with a shaky offense as it is. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I'm excited about Hawkins. Um, there was a lot of things that came out during fall practice and at fall camp and everything that saying that, you know, Hawkins was the guy. I mean, like they were just saying like that he was the most impressive guy out of everybody out there, and that's kind of crazy, thinking that he was the most impressive, and then we have Arnold sitting right there, and I was just thinking, well, Arnold's gonna get it done, and no matter what, but sometimes things just don't pan out, and at least up to this point, it just hasn't panned out for Arnold. But I am excited about Hawkins. Seems like he's got a really bright future ahead of him as long as we can get the line to just kind of hold back the blocks just a little bit, give him a little bit of time. I think he recognizes things really quick. He's a
Yeah.
good decision maker, and that's what we need right now. Somebody that's not going to put the ball on the ground, not put the ball in the hands of uh, our opponents, and just try to make plays. So I think he's going to be a good addition. Sucks for Arnold, but
Yeah,
uh,
it really does.
It's
you
the
just got to
nature of
move
football.
on.
I
Not
mean,
There was one thing I heard, Brent Venables say is that, hey, if he's going to do this to anybody, if Danny Stutzman's not making plays, if he's, constantly just allowing people to, run by him, he's not in the right position, he's not making tackles, he said, man, his butt's out. I'm putting somebody
Yeah.
else that's going to do it. So, I mean, you have to have that same mindset to every position. I mean, I know that the quarterback position is like, the one
Yeah.
most important positions out there, but uh to that, I mean, if you're going to put the ball on the ground and give it to the other team, then yeah, you got to make a change somewhere. So
as a coach, you can't allow personal feelings about about your guys to kind of creep into your decision making. You got to stay non-biased. You got to make the best decision for what's going to make you the most successful as a team. So no matter how you feel about kids, like at the end of the day, you got to make tough choices as a coach. That's just part of the game. That's the nature of college football. One guy, he may be your guy week one, but by week four, he may not be the guy anymore. It's all about production, who's producing, who's showing, that they can, take control of the game. I think Hawkins in those two drives that we saw the other night, I think that he had after the first drive that he was in, first couple, the two scoring drives, he really had control of the offense. I really think, and we were able to
Yeah. Yeah.
get the
And
ball.
looking back at it, Jackson Arnold basically played the whole first half. Michael Hawkins came in at the end of the game or at the end of the first half.
Into the first half, and they started the second half. It went
Yeah,
well.
started the second half and we put up two touchdowns.
Yeah, and those two
Whereas,
times, he,
I mean, if you look at the numbers, Jackson Arnold wasn't able to put up any numbers. I mean any points in
yeah,
general. I mean,
and
we drove
despite
the field,
we got
gave
three.
up the ball,
despite
gave up the
having
ball
great,
again.
not to mention he had great field position and a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
the defense basically handed him a touchdown,
When you
and
fumble it back at the very next play, it's just it's unwarranted. You can't
Yeah.
have that. It's just not. I'm with it. Listen, I'm for any guy that's willing to go full Sam Bradford mode and just totally put his
Oh
body
yeah.
to the touchdown. That's my guy. I'm with Herb Street on that. Like that's
And
our
he
guy.
held on to the ball.
Yeah, and he held on
I
to the
mean,
ball. And I thought it was a total hose job that they didn't freaking give
oh,
him that. But I
so
mean,
bad. Give it
uh,
on the 6 inch yard. Come
I'm
on,
confident.
man.
I'm confident. I think that he's a young man that's going to come in and kind of play with his hair on fire, try to electrify our offense a little bit.
And he wants it, man. Like there's a difference between yeah, there's a difference between something being handed to you, and I'm not saying Jackson Arnold got it handed to him. He
No,
had everything lined up. He was the guy, and it was him to beat out.
yeah,
And unfortunately, we're in the position now. He's been beaten out, and we're gonna see how Hawkins does this week. Does it mean that Jackson isn't going to get to see the field? I don't know. Let's hope, for our sake, let's hope he doesn't. I mean, because in all reality, and that's not saying anything bad about him, but that's saying Michael's doing something right. He's doing something right where Jackson doesn't have to come into the game. That's just the position we're in now. He's QB2, and I mean, we're hoping for a good performance out of Mike. So
Like I've said, like, I don't want this to be a deal where we're sitting here saying we've given up on Jackson
no,
Arnold.
absolutely not.
You're not. You mean you don't give up on the dude. Like he's had a couple of bad outings in a row. I mean, he just hasn't hit his stride yet. But then again, we live in the world of college football today, where if you're unhappy with something, if you don't like where you're at, you can just jump in the portal and go
Hate
somewhere
it.
else. But you know, I, and OU fans need to be they need to be. I mean, I understand we want success and we want I get it, but we can't give up on the young man. We gotta stay behind him and hope that eventually he'll kind of come along with this with this decision. Just
Yeah.
I'm
maybe.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that he can get into practice, especially maybe after this week, going into the bye week, get into practice, get a little bit more reps, and just start feeling that confidence again.
Have a
Because
Yeah.
reset.
I
Take a
feel
reset.
like I feel like at some point in the season we're going to need him again,
Oh
and
yeah,
uh, and really it's his confidence right now. He's got all the tools.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I've seen him throw. I've seen him run. I mean, he's got it.
He's a
But
playmaker, man, and it breaks my heart.
but it's the
I mean,
confidence right now, and
yeah,
he's overthinking everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And so those easy reads, those RPOs that like it should just be like, super simple. He is overthinking that way too much and then making the wrong decision. So he just needs to step back for just a little bit, just kind of cool down.
I'm
Uh,
thinking, I'm thinking back to 2021 with the Caleb Williams Spencer Rattler situation just a little bit. Rattler was coming in at 21, supposed to be the Heisman winner. We were,
coming
national
off
contenders,
coming off
and
an incredible game against Florida.
yeah, in the Cotton Bowl for sure. We smoked them, and that's when Dan Mullen threw his whole tantrum. Hey, our team played the SEC championship. That was the last time that the Gators of 21 played anyway. But uh, no, I think you look back just like you said earlier. We're going to need Arnold down the line. We're going to need him at some point this season again. You look back to 21 in that Texas game. Rattler didn't play well the first half. He gets pulled for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has an absolutely incredible game. Who threw the pass on the 2-point conversion to Drake Stoops to tie the game? Spencer
Yeah,
Rattler.
yeah,
Spencer Rattler. So just like that, we're not giving up on Jackson Arnold. We're going to need him again sometime this season. I don't know when that'll be, but just like you said, I think he goes to practice, this week and especially during the bye, he has kind of a mental reset, and maybe he'll get right before the Texas game, and then
yeah.
we'll see what the future
uh,
holds.
Really, that 2021, schedule and games and everything like that, that kind of, it really is very similar to what's
Very
happening now.
simple.
Other than we lost this game, but like they played Tulane to the wire. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
that Western Carolina game, they handled them easily.
I
Like
think it was like 70-0 or something.
Just
But
like
but then they played Nebraska, which Nebraska was not very good at the time at all, and that was a very close game. Went down to the wire as well, um, and then on from there. I mean, yeah, it was close game after close game, and we just weren't putting up. We weren't putting up big numbers, big offensive
that we were
numbers.
to,
And we
and
had all the tools. I mean, that's day is completely different because, I mean, we had credible offensive line, wide receiver core. I'd say it was pretty good at the time. It was in ice with the guys that we have right now. I mean, the five guys that are supposedly out. I think our core there is better than it was then, but unfortunately they're out.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, man, it's gonna be a dogfight on offense. I think that Michael Hawkins is gonna give us a spark. I'm hoping to see an incredible outing from him. But let's look forward into just how we think that this game's going to shake out. I got my opinion. I think, I'll go ahead and kick it off. I think the defense is going to be the pivotal. I mean, it's been the pivotal point of the whole season thus far. I think it's important that we keep them 13 or below. I mean, if we give up more than 13, I think that we're getting in it's gonna be more of a tough game
Yeah.
because until this point we haven't been able to toss up a ton of points.
No,
We had a
no.
decent game against Tulane. Obviously, we put up some points against Temple, but that's a given.
Yeah.
Temple,
Houston was embarrassing, and last week's offensive performance was embarrassing.
yeah,
So we gotta have some numbers put up this week. One, to get that feeling off your back right now,
yeah.
because right now we look in the media and the rating. I mean, we
Freaking
look
dropping
bad.
recruits like crazy now.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
quote my,
That's
and in
that's
one
another
game.
that's another topic, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into that.
I'm gonna quote my mom for a second. She literally, her watching the game the other night. Her comment was, "I've seen JV middle school teams that looked better than that looked better than how you did the other night." And I was kind of like, "Well, I mean, you
One,
know,
we played a very good defense.
again, I told
Let's
you,
not
yeah, I told you the other
negate
day.
that.
I think right now, if Tennessee lines up against the other, top five teams in the country, I'm telling you, Tennessee they would beat Ohio State. I'm telling you,
Oh
they're
yeah,
and every one of those other games.
Tennessee's a great team. I
They're
mean,
great.
I'm not even about
I
to.
love Josh Heupel. I love Josh Heupel till just for what he's done for OU in the past, and he's a great coach. Offensively, scheme wise, they do so many things, and they've got some dudes that can go. Defensively, I was really impressed. Like everybody
Yeah,
talked all week about Tennessee's offense. Their defense is legit. They fly the football. They cover you on the outside, up front. It's like trying to move a brick wall.
yeah,
And
I think I think what's important for this game though is that our defense just smothers them and we
yeah.
just completely take their offense out of the game. They've had their offensive scheme is very good, but they've
they're
had
having kind of some of the same problems that we're having right now.
yeah they're having problems just scoring, just getting
One
the ball
point
to the end zone.
turnovers.
Yeah. So and they're also juggling quarterbacks right now. Uh,
Back up right now too.
and they don't know who's going to start this week or not. So I will say props to Brent Venables for at least naming a guy. That way, both guys
Yeah,
aren't sitting there thinking all week, "Hey, who's going to start?" You can just go ahead and move forward with this. So I like that, but I think what you're going to see from our offense is it's going to be. I'm not going to say dumbed down, but I think it's going to be a whole lot simpler than what we have been running. I think Venables has made that pretty clear that what he kind of doesn't like about the play calling so far. But I think we're gonna come out hot. I think we're gonna score quick. And
let's
then
hope.
there might
So,
I think we will. I think we'll score quick, but I think there'll be a point in the game where we don't score very much. And
Yeah, been to see a very common denominator.
uh,
these are the third quarters.
hopefully, yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's going to happen. But maybe we can score enough to where our defense can
Yeah.
I would
hold.
love to see us put up 30 plus.
I think it's very doable.
Love that.
I mean, I think it's doable. I think you're going to see Michael Hawkins probably having the most rushing yards out of anybody this
Also,
week,
QB run game would be
either
something.
team. So
Yeah. The line right now, we
Two and
started
a
at,
half.
yeah, it's down to two now.
Two.
Down to two
Good
now.
grief, man.
It's 4.5 to start the other day, and the over under is 45.5. So I could
Very
see
low.
I could see one of two things. I could see, both teams maybe coming out on fire. I think our defense is, obviously elite. I think that it's going to be important that we get on them early, defensively especially, get them off the field on third down easily, and just
Yeah.
really just put the pressure on them early, and then offensively we gotta execute. Uh-oh.
Oh, I got JB in here, and he's saying that mommy needs me.
Got JB. Hey, we got two JBs in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on the deal with that. No, like I said, I think that I can see it. I can see, like I think you said, it could be a low scoring game. I could see that, be a real low scoring type of game.
I
Maybe
hope not.
I hope not either, but it could be a defensive slugfest. Maybe the first offense to maybe score a couple times in a row, maybe wins the game. But
Hey, a win's a
Hey,
win, man.
listen,
I mean,
if I'm
I'm
betting, if I'm
you know
betting, I'm betting on
I'm taking the under.
over. I'm going the over
Over.
the
Uh,
only way I'm
because
taking. Go ahead, Lane.
I'm seeing if I'm a betting person, this game gets moved to Norman, and it's going to be a whole different ball game if it gets moved to Norman. So, uh,
I hope so. I hope you're right.
that'll be an interesting scenario. Our first not true road game, but our first
How are we
game.
gonna put fans in the seats?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The first game away from the Palace would be the Red River game against Texas. That'd be interesting.
from from what was rolling on Twitter earlier or X, seems like uh, ticket offices were getting a hold of season ticket holders, see if they needed tickets for the game
The
in
only
Norman.
reason they would do that would be,
Interesting.
It looks pretty bad. Now I'm thinking it dropped to two just because of the weather, and they're thinking that it's still going to play. Uh,
Yeah.
but so if I was betting right now, I'd take that.
I mean,
And
I wouldn't mind.
if the game is played in Jordan Hare, if it's played at Auburn, tough place to play always. Auburn will be a good football team. They always are. Even when even when Auburn is like 6-5 going into a game, like late in the season where they're playing Bama and they're 6-5, like
Always competitive.
scrappy. They're always find ways to do some good things. It's always tough to play there. Like it's going to be another dogfight. We're going to have to come out ready to play.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is not an easy game. I
not at
mean, I
all.
know we
If it
look at it
was,
right now
hey,
yeah,
and we
and if it
expect
were,
it to, yeah.
if it were
Arkansas
Kentucky,
Arkansas just beat them. We
yeah.
cannot lose. All right.
Yeah,
Never
I
hear the
can't
end
live
of it.
through that.
Hey, Arkansas's got a good team this year.
They got a
That young quarterback they've got, man. I'm telling you, he's a dude. He's a dude.
But
They do a lot of
we're about to show them a young quarterback that's a dude.
yeah. Michael Hawkins, yeah, that's the guy.
we got we got only a few minutes left, so let's try to wrap it up real quick. And apparently, JB
You
keeps
need
on coming in here, so
you need it.
yeah.
Hey. All right, boys. I think we've covered quite a bit already. We're all hoping to see a defense that comes out with their hair on fire again and just completely smothers the Auburn offense. And we're hoping to see some spark in that Oklahoma offense. Hopefully Michael Hawkins is the dude, and he makes that very clear Saturday. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a dogfight. Um, and we're hoping for the best because right now we need that momentum going into the bye week, going into Texas. That's what we need. I mean, with how it looks right now,
There he is.
JB number
What?
two, or is he number one?
Oh, yeah, that's quick. Quick cameo, and I'm out.
He's gone.
No, but seriously, I mean, we're gonna need that momentum going into Red River rivalry, tongue twister, because Texas is likely still gonna be the number one team in the nation. The
Yeah.
only way Texas is not the number one team in the nation is if Georgia goes out and absolutely smothers Alabama. That's a conversation for another time. We'll see how that one plays out. But likely Texas is going to be number one still. And the that game on October 12th in Dallas, if we can pull away with a win, I mean, we've done it. We've done it 7 out of the last 10 years. If we can pull away with a win, I mean, that's going to propel the whole season.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to. Season's still wide open.
Oh, we got it.
Um, Going into that bye, I mean, with that bye week, got to have some time to get some of those guys healthy. So there's a lot to look forward to, boys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think that's our cue, guys.
That's our cue.
All right, fellas. All right, talk soon. And Boomer.
Boomer.
Boomer.